Hi, I'm Steve Naparelski with Oz Lifting Products. I'm going to show you just how fast and easy it is to disassemble our hand chain hoist. It'll also give us a chance to take a closer look at the overload protection hardware and heavy-duty brakes found on all Oz hoists. We'll also take a look at a few features that make this hoist the best on the market. Now I'd like to show you just how easy this hoist is to disassemble and maintain. The first thing you need to do is take the cover off using a standard socket wrench. After the cover is off, you then need to remove this hand chain from the wheel. At this point, you would use a needle nose pliers to straighten this cotter pin, which I've already done. Note that these will be only two tools you'll need to disassemble our hoist, making field repair a breeze. From here on, we don't need any more tools. This nut comes off by hand. Here's the overload protection set at 40% above capacity. And now we're going to take off the secondary cover, which protects the brake. You'll note that there are two heavy-duty ratchet pawls on this Weston-style brake. Now as we remove the brake, notice the thickness of this material. No other hoist offers as thick of a brake material as we do. At this point, the hoist is fully disassembled with the exception of the top hook. To remove the top hook, all you need to do is remove this pin and the hook comes right off. Now you may be curious how this pin stays in place. If you take a closer look at the secondary cover we removed earlier, there is an indentation that puts pressure on the pin to keep it secure. Now as we put the hoist back together, you'll see it is just as easy as the disassembly. Before we put this hand wheel back on, notice how well seated the chain fits into the wheel. There's very little play in it, ensuring a smooth, positive lift. Now we'll just spin it on, and when you hear that click, it means you've set the brake. Then you hand tighten this nut, push the cotter pin back in, and at this point, you'd use your pliers to flare those ears so it stays in place. Then we reattach the hand chain, always making sure that the weld is out. On goes the cover, tighten down the lock nuts, and you're good to go back in service. Another important thing to point out about this hoist is that it is easy to operate. As you can see, the hand chain can be easily operated at pretty much any angle, which is a very unique feature. With other hoists, you have to stand directly under the load to get it to operate. And even then it might bind up on you. But with the Oz hoist, you can go off at any angle and still make a safe lift. That's going to help you work faster without compromising safety. Finally, the most unique feature of the Oz hand hoist is the roller bearing found in the bottom hook. The roller bearing allows you to rotate the load you are lifting without transmitting that rotation back into the load chain. We will demonstrate this feature later in the video. What I'd like to do now is show you a unique feature on the Oz hoist, which is a roller bearing in the bottom block. And what makes this feature so unique is that when you're raising a load, many times you have to turn the load for whatever reason, and that rotation on all other hoists, that rotation ends up turning the load chain, what ultimately turns up into the hand hoist, making the hand hoist inoperable. And so with the roller bearing feature in this bottom block, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate. I'm going to raise this load up and we're going to go ahead and make the rotation, and you'll notice that when I make the rotation, that the rotation absorbed by this roller bearing and not transmitted to the load chain. So let me go ahead and raise the load. And we'll go ahead and start the rotation, and as you see, what's happening here is that, like I said earlier, the roller bearing is absorbing that rotation so that the operator can continue to go ahead and run the hoist and have no fear of this load chain binding up in the body of the hoist, which is just a great feature to have.